Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So this is my match reaction for the game away to Nottingham Forest. Obviously we couldn't come away with the 3 points against them. We have come away with just the 1 point with a 2-2 draw. So we'll dive into this then. We may as well get into it pretty quickly. I will start from the very beginning as we always do every week. I'll start with the team news. I think the team that Ruben Amorim picked was probably the team that the majority of us would have picked. The only issue with that team I think is probably our weakness being Diogo Dalot at the moment. I just don't think that he's currently performing to the standard of the rest of the team, but I think that's fairly obvious throughout the fan base at the moment anyway. So I do think we all knew that Amorim was going to pick him anyway, and he did. So apart from Dalot, I think the team pretty much would have stayed the same. I think that's the team that a lot of us would have picked. That's the team that performed really well last week, so it's difficult to come in and change that. And particularly, there's probably nothing I would have changed in that bar Dalot. And yeah, so team not that fussed about. I don't think Amorim, with the subs made, I don't think Amorim's to blame for the issues we had. I think it's just we controlled the first half really, really well. It's difficult to go to Forest, especially with a new manager bounce, and that manager being Dyche. He's a difficult manager to come up against. He knows the Premier League like the back of his hand. He knows how to play against big teams like us. He knows how to play against teams that are strong. He knows how to play against teams that have attacking strengths as well. I think his tactics today dealt with Mbeumo very, very well. I think that it was clear to see that every time Mbeumo would get the ball on the right side, he was closed very quickly by more than one player. And I think that was difficult for us to adapt to. But I think we controlled the first half pretty well. I think we played well in the first half. We went at them really, really quickly. There's not much disappointment I could say in the first half. I think you could all probably agree with me that we do look as good as we have done in recent weeks. We are starting to build that consistency in terms of our performances. And yeah, I'm not so disappointed with the first half. I know that the goal we scored as well was deserved. I think we had a fair few chances as well. We had a few shots. If we could be a little bit more clinical with those shots and at least start getting them on target a little bit more, I'd be happy with. But the first half, I'm not overly concerned. It's difficult to go to Forest, just like I said, especially with the new manager. And Forest are a good team. Like Forest have good players. They have a very good midfielder. Gibbs White is probably he's one of the better attacking midfielders in the league as well. And yeah, so I don't think we did anything overly wrong in the first half. And obviously Casemiro getting his goal as well from a set piece nonetheless as well, which last season would have been like unheard of for us last season. So it's good to see that we are starting to improve. And Ahmad's goal came from a set piece as well. So it's good that we're starting to strengthen ourselves in every position on the pitch. And do you know, I'm not that bothered. Like I am bothered, of course, because especially when the little statistic came up in the corner and you see that, like, as it stood at one point with Arsenal being 2-0 up at that time, we could have gone second in the league. And I know there's a lot of teams still to play, and that I think when they show you things like that, they go to your head a little bit, and you think you have to actually recheck yourself a little bit and think, hang on, this team, although yes, we're on the right track and we've signed some good players, we're not there yet, and we don't need to be there yet. We don't need to push that. And as much as, yes, we all want to win every single week, like that is normal. As Manchester United fans, we all want to win every single week. We used to win most weeks. Like, it's normal for us to want that, and it's normal for every football fan to win that. But you cannot, especially when we're still building what we want. We're still building that end product. And if you'd have said to us all after the Brentford and City game that we would have the results that we've had recently and we'd be playing as well as we have recently, we probably would have laughed. So I think we have to try not to get caught up in what we could have had and stay in what we are and try and appreciate the differences that we're making as a team and the improvements that we're there as well. And I know it's difficult and it's easy to get complacent and it's easy to demand more than it's good to demand more, but it's not good to demand too much more. Do you know what I mean? There has to be a difference there. And this last season and the season before, we would have went to Forest and potentially gone 1-0 up, or they'd gone 1-0 up against us, and we don't have that mentality to fight back. We don't have that mentality to go, we're still in this, we're a really good team, let's just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and we're seeing that more and more lately. So I'm not overly concerned about the result. I think we're a good team, we've got really good players. I think there's just little weaknesses that are still just chipping away at us, and like the games that we have lost this season, there's been reasons why, and there's not just a whole reason of us as a team are terrible. I think there is just individual little errors that are just accounting, but we will sieve through these individual errors. We've only had one summer of Ruben Amorim, and we will get through these errors and we will get through these individual mistakes, being like goalkeepers. And I think it might seem too harsh to you, but the second half goal, obviously that was just completely took everyone by surprise. I think we started on our heels in the second half. We expected it to be probably in our control a little bit more than it was. Forest started quickly. The cross came in, as they do. Ahmad tries to push, and I think it's just an exceptional header. I really do. I think it's just a really good header. It hit the net absolutely perfectly. I think it's just one of them things. And you know what? When that went in, I thought, great cross, good header. I mean, and it just is like that. Football just is like that. You have to accept these things are going to happen. We're not going to be perfect every single game. But our reaction to that was a little bit concerning, was a little bit of, not concerning because that's always expected for the home team once they've scored a goal, especially straight after half time as well. Everyone in the stadium is going to be with them. Obviously, they're going to feel that boost. It's always going to be very, very difficult for us as a team to manage that. And obviously, we slightly struggled with that. And just defensive errors again. Another cross comes in, goes over Dallow's head. Dallow's just caught kind of ball watching, and then player nips in behind him and scores the goal. And I think the little things like that we have to kind of get rid of, and that's okay. That is okay. At this current moment, Ruben Amorim hasn't got a replacement for him. I think. We've obviously just had Mazraoui back from injury, and he's obviously not fit enough to be starting in that position just yet. But obviously he came back on today, which is a good thing. And I think when the game was starting to when we were starting to lose the game a little bit there with Dallow, he made that substitution pretty quickly. I think it was a 62nd minute. I think he made that substitution. He made that pretty quickly. That was a positive turn of events. I thought Dorgu looked better than when he came on last week, so that's an improvement as well. And obviously Mazraoui getting some minutes in the tank as well is what we all need, because we do need that. We do need that extra defender in there as well. Defensively, I think we had a really good game yet again. Dyche looks really, really strong again. Luke Shaw looked good again today. And you know what I was really impressed with today was the offside line that we held. There was so many times where I think we dealt with that really, really well. We know that Forest are going to have a lot of energy, especially under Dyche, that they're going to have that front line are going to have lots and lots of energy. They're going to try and exploit the gaps in behind, and they did do that, but they were caught offside for a majority of them. So I'm really, really pleased with that, actually, how we were able to use that today to our strengths, and it paid off, completely paid off. There was twice that I thought, oh God, they've got him behind there, but it's just satisfying, isn't it, when, yeah, they've gone on and took a shot or whatever, but they're offside anyway. It's just a satisfying feeling as a fan to know that the organisation is there, and I think that is credit to Ruben Amorim. We all know how much of an organised coach he is, probably too organised. Really, really controlling, isn't he, in every aspect of the pitch. He wants everything to be perfect, and that's not a bad thing at all. So, yeah, I mean, look, it might seem like I'm being a little bit negative. I don't want to be negative at all. I want this team to keep going the way they're going. They are in a good run of form. We're looking strong. There's obviously little things that we need to tweak. There's players we want to bring in. We need to swap out Dallow for somebody. We need to bring somebody in pretty quickly for that position, in my opinion. And look, I think players like Casemiro had a good game again today. Bruno was a little bit on the more quiet side today, but I think he did some good things. He looked good. He stepped up in the last half an hour when we needed him to, and he was progressing the ball forward when he needed to. I think that Mbeumo again was quite, even though he was pretty heavily marked today throughout that game, he was really difficult to get the ball from. He was strong. He rarely puts a foot wrong, doesn't he, Mbeumo? And Ahmad as well, having a really good game, and I'm buzzing for Ahmad that he got that goal. I feel like he really needed that, and hopefully we can start to see the Ahmad that was scoring and assisting as he was last season. And I'm in no way, by the way, saying that Ahmad's not been good this season, because he has been very, very good defensively, and he's provided us with some really good contributions as well attackingly, but it's nice to see him get that goal and get rewarded for that. So I'm really, really pleased for Ahmad. And it's good that we can still take something from this. Look, it's a point. Yeah, we sit 5th right now after the game, and that's obviously, we're going to drop a little bit more after that, but we've got a huge run of games coming up. Once we get this next one more international break, and then it's literally the last straight there, and I'm hoping we can really start to build something. But it does definitely feel like we are building something. The attitude seemed to have changed, and if that can keep going the way it is, then I can't see why this team doesn't keep performing the way they are. But yeah, I'm not going to... I know it's easy to come back off, especially from being 1-0 up, but I think we all need to take into consideration that away from home, it's a very difficult game. As other teams have sensed it come to Old Trafford, it's a whole nother kettle of fish, isn't it? And Sean Dyche is a very positive manager as well. He gives off that positive energy to his team and to the supporters, and he's probably one of the most dreaded Premier League managers to come up against, because he's so aggressive. Everybody's so aggressive, and the transition of play is really, really difficult to play against as well. Like, when we usually break away, and they were happy to sit back in their half for a majority of the game, and then when we could progress them up the pitch, and we're trying to break that early and break them down, there's so much energy in there, and he will not stand for that. He will not stand for people being slow to get back. So yeah, I tweeted after the game that I was gutted, because I think I'm just getting a little bit greedy now, like how good we've been. That's not a bad performance at all. It's not a bad result. I'm not too fussed about that. I'm not concerned. The main thing is I'm not concerned about the team. And I think that's more than can be said by a fan, being me, for the last however many years. I think that's a lot more than I could have said this time last year, or even at the beginning of the season. I mean, we've come on leaps and bounds, we really have, and I think that I'd be silly to be concerned about that as a team. We didn't play badly, we were structural, the heads were gone for a little bit, we were caught on our toes in the second half, we didn't react particularly well to that, but the mistake there in the second half is, if Dalot could have just not ball watched that situation, probably would have been different, but it is what it is. Look, these things happen, everyone makes mistakes, and we come away with a point. That's the main thing. But yeah, I don't want this to seem like I'm being really negative, because I'm not. I'm trying to have the best outlook possible on this game, and I hope that you guys can too. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you think today's game went? Is it concerning for you that we drew? And are you concerned about how we conceded those 2 goals? I mean, you could be, but I personally, it's just football, isn't it? Football's a crazy game. We all know that. If football was predictable, we probably all wouldn't watch it. So yeah. If you are all around tomorrow, I will be on the live show at 8 o'clock. We will do our weekly wind down, where we will discuss any news from Manchester United, any news from other Premier League teams. We'll just have a general chat, a little bit of questions for you guys, questions for me, and we'll just enjoy a little interactive chat. So yeah, that's my overall consensus of the game. I'm positive. I'm still positive. Are you guys still positive? Just let me know what you guys feel after that, and we'll see where we are next week. And I hope you guys have a very, very nice rest of your weekend. I will see you all very, very soon. If you haven't already, please do like, comment and subscribe. Every single bit of support towards the channel is really, really appreciated. So thank you guys very much, and I will see you all very, very soon. And let's hope that Liverpool do keep that losing streak tonight against Aston Villa. See you all later. Thank you very, very much for watching.